Metal Knight, or Dr. Bofoi, is the S-Class ranked 6 hero, as well as a super genius and a master of robotics. But he's also one of the most mysterious S-Class heroes and has really yet to show anything of significance in the series yet. I mean, I don't think it's too far of a stretch to say that he hasn't even shown at 50% of what he is capable of, maybe even less than that. And that begs the question of, how strong is this guy? So in this video, we're going to try to figure that out. But let me also mention that, this is going to be a different kind of how strong is video since we really haven't seen much of this guy. So we're just going to have to go off the contextual clues and kind of figure out what his potential is. But don't worry, there's not going to be too much guessing in this video, as I think we have just enough information to figure out how much of a beast this guy is. So like I said, Metal Knight is a super genius, so much that even Child Emperor was his former assistant, and we can assume that he taught Child Emperor everything he knows regarding robotics and maybe some other stuff too. And it's this skill in robotics that has allowed him to amass his crazy arsenal that he has. And like I said before, we haven't even seen like 50% of this arsenal, maybe even less than that. So from what we've seen so far, his preferred weapon of choice is the battle robot or the Metal Knight itself. I mean, this thing has like a few names. It really depends on the translations or the data books that you're reading on this thing. But regardless, this thing just by itself is pretty damn formidable. I mean, it's capable of flight, similar to what we've seen of Brave Giant. And it can also shoot many powerful missiles if need be. And these missiles are extremely powerful as well. I mean, if we just see the scope of damage that they are capable of doing to the meteor back in chapter 21, it's pretty extravagant. And while it doesn't really do anything to the meteor, it just is showing us that, wow, if this thing like hit a city or maybe even an opponent, it would be pretty devastating. I mean, this is quite a bit of damage and very large at that. So while the area of damage that these missiles are capable of is pretty impressive, this doesn't necessarily make the battle robot overpowered or anything like that. I mean, we see later on that these missiles can't really do much to Elder Centipede, meaning that the firepower of this robot falls below that of the combined effort of Bang and Bomb. And the durability isn't really too high or anything like that either, as we find out that it was easily destroyed by one of Orochi's horns. But outside of the missiles, the flight, and its durability feats, we haven't really seen anything else from the battle robot or the Metal Knight. So I assume that it's maybe like a high demon. I don't think it's necessarily a dragon, but it could be debated. But also let us remember that we're just talking about one individual battle robot here, and this is just kind of a little sample of what Metal Knight is capable of. Like I've been saying, like we haven't seen anything this guy is fully capable of. So now I think it's a good time for us to go into the scary potential of Metal Knight. Because in the data book, it says that he is confirmed to have at least 100 fighting robots. So I don't know necessarily if it is referring to the battle robots that we were just talking about. But, just based off of the data book, and it's not really giving us too much context, and I don't have the exact translations to it, I mean, we could just assume that it's talking about 100 of these friggin' battle robots that we just estimated to be high demons, which we saw the damage that they could do to the meteor. I mean, holy crap, 100 of these things? I assume that he had like at least 5, but 100? Metal Knight, just having 100 of these alone makes him easily one of the strongest characters in the series. And I know I say that about some of the other characters like Bang and Flashy Flash, but this is way beyond that, because this would be a problem for literally any character outside of Saitama, of course. I mean, this doesn't seem like too much of a hyperbolic statement when we take into consideration what Giro said about Metal Knight, when they said that there was only 4 heroes capable of taking down Elder Centipede. So of course Blast, King, Tatsumaki, and then the 4th being Metal Knight. And from what we've seen before, one of these individual battle robots doesn't really do much to Elder Centipede, But I think that Giro is implying that, yeah, if he brought more of these battle robots, maybe even just 20, let's not even talk about the 100 that he potentially has, maybe even more than that, but just 20 of these things lighting up Elder Centipede would probably take care of him. Meaning that Metal Knight, at the absolute minimum, has been scaled to a high dragon. The hype on Metal Knight goes even further when it is stated that he possesses a vast and secret military might that the full extent of is still unknown even by the Hero Association. And we find out that the Hero Association straight up fears Metal Knight because of this. So we've even seen more things from Metal Knight that give credence to him being a potential threat to humanity here. Yeah, I'm saying it, so I won't say the G word yet, but I'm just going to put it out there that just based on this hype and the contextual clues, he is likely a threat to humanity, and this next feat I'm going to show you will probably solidify that. So after Boros' invasion, Metal Knight is contracted by the Hero Association to clean things up and to rebuild the HQ for them. So he just brings along this gigantic construction robot, which is very similar to the AT-AT Walker from Star Wars. And just this thing alone is freaking gigantic, and S-Class heroes like Tank Top Master can't do a damn thing to this. And not only that, but it's capable of releasing like hundreds of these other robots that individually are beasts on their own. I mean, we see them easily taking out Tank Top Master's crew, who is consisting of like C through A class heroes. And I think this right here is showing us that Metal Knight is a potential threat to humanity. I mean, if he wanted to release this on the public, they would have a really tough time dealing with this. I mean, the little robots can eat rubble, and the big AT-AT Walker itself has like weapons on its head. I mean, it has cannons and whatnot, and all of the other stuff in it that we don't even see. And like I said, we don't know the full extent of Metal Knight's arsenal. So how many of these things does he have? Does he have bigger things than this? You know, what else is he doing? And let's just keep going. Let's take his hype further, because the construction that we were just talking about, well, it was estimated that by conventional means, the construction that they had in mind for the new HQ would take 10 years. But Metal Knight's arsenal and capabilities are so outrageously powerful that Metal Knight made the new HQ in 7 days. 7 days compared to an estimated 10 friggin' years. And this feat right here really makes me wonder if the information about him having the 100 battle robots in the data book is lowballing it, because it says at least 100. So, you know, how many does he really have? But besides just the sheer volume of his arsenal, how far does the quality of it go? Because I think it's fair to assume that the battle robot that we see isn't his strongest technological feat. I mean, I guarantee he has a much stronger robot than this that we haven't seen yet. And there's another bit of info that gives credence to this theory, because it is confirmed that Metal Knight is in possession of Boros' ship. And this ship was extremely powerful in its own. I mean, Saitama wrecked this thing from the inside, and it still didn't go down. Tatsumaki too, she threw everything at it and it still stayed in the air. It only went down after Boros died. You know, not to mention all of the untold crazy intergalactic technology within it. And Metal Knight has been in possession of this for quite a while now, so we can assume that he's definitely been doing some stuff with this. You know, unfortunately, we haven't seen anything or heard anything, but man, it's really scary to think about what he can make from this. I mean, not just robots, but like weapons in general, you know, like beam cannons or maybe his own spaceship. You know, who knows what Metal Knight is capable of. Like what I've been saying in the beginning of this video, we're just basically guessing his potential off of the contextual clues that we get. And everything that we have seen so far leads me to believe that Metal Knight is a threat to humanity and likely could solo the entire Hero Association outside of Tatsumaki, King, and Blast. So in the end, how strong is Metal Knight? Well, here we go. Like I said, he is at the minimum of a high dragon. So I'm just going to say baseline, he is above dragon. But at the absolute max, here we go. Metal Knight is disaster level god. Giro already established him to be one of the big four in the S-Class, meaning that he is either top 3 or top 4. It really depends on where you want to put him, but regardless, Metal Knight is one of the strongest characters. Just not heroes, not just monsters, but all of the characters. I mean, damn, the potential of Metal Knight is crazy, and I really can't wait to see it, but unfortunately, guys, it's going to be quite a while before we see that. But just based off of what we've recently seen with Child Emperor, and we saw how far he can go. I mean, when he uses his Bankai, he can summon Brave Giant, who can take down dragons like Phoenix Man. And like I said before, Child Emperor was the former assistant of Metal Knight. So yeah, Metal Knight for sure has something above Brave Giant. And now that he has Boros' technology and at least 100 confirmed battle robots and the construction robot, I mean, who's dealing with this? So that's pretty much it for the video today, guys. Let me know what you think about Metal Knight. How strong is he? Is he disaster level god? I think it's, fair to say, yeah, he has the potential to be that for sure. So if you liked the video, please give it a like. I also have a Patreon. It starts at $2 and it gives you access to a Q&A. And if you haven't already, please subscribe as well. Have a great day, guys, and I'll see you in the next one.